Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:51 and Twisted Sister with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
What is that on your lapel? Is that a Twisted Sister pin?
On your uniform.
On your uniform. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be cloudy with a high of 75. Tomorrow, maybe some rain showers with a high of 78. It is 46 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Have you been following the Trust Fund Baby Festival all weekend? I mean, the Coachella Festival?
I have not, as well as I should have.
Katy Perry delivered one of Coachella's most meme-worthy moments, and it had nothing to do with being on stage. The pop star was caught on camera during Justin Bieber's headlining set Saturday night, joking, "Thank God he has premium," as she watched his YouTube-driven performance from the crowd, a clear nod to skipping ads while he played clips of his own videos. Perry posted the moment to Instagram as part of a carousel from her weekend in the SoCal desert, leaning into the joke as Bieber's unconventional set quickly got people talking online. The singer made his Coachella return after 4 years, but instead of a traditional concert, he built the show around YouTube, singing along to old hits like Baby and Never Say Never, also while pulling up childhood videos from when he first went viral at the age of 12.
Does his creativity ever end?
No. And at one point, Bieber even appeared to interact with live comments on the stream and revisited a recent viral clip that sparked concern among fans. Despite the stripped-down setup, hoodie, shorts, and a laptop, and an otherwise bare stage, Bieber still brought out heavy hitters like The Kid Laroi, WizKid, Thames, and Dijon.
Wow. Dijon.
Well, these, I guess, are popular people among the Coachella crew.
Mustard take everything he could to get that guy.
I see what you did there.
That's a condiment joke.
Remember Dijonnaise? They still make that? The
I don't know if
Dijon
they
mustard
do.
and the mayonnaise together?
Good question.
That was always pretty good. Meanwhile, Perry was fully in the mix, spotted dancing closely with former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as Bieber's throwback track Speed Demon played. I couldn't think of a place I'd rather be less than a weekend full of elites and a-holes.
Well, this is where I beg to defer. I can't think of a better show of pure showmanship than what you have just described for all of us today. Sounds like a hell of a show. Sounds like you spend like $600 to $800 for a ticket. You get at least $599 worth of entertainment.
Don't you have FOMO now? You missed out on the biggest...
No, I actually got phobia.
Phobia.
Yeah,
I like
fear
phobia.
of being included.
I gotcha. Britney Spears is in rehab for substance abuse. She checked in a few days ago somewhere in the United States. Wouldn't it be weird if she was here at Mira Vista?
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go over and see if we can say hi.
Yeah, let's see if we can violate any HIPAA laws and see who's hiding
Hey, Brittany, you in here?
Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ people close to the singer had been urging herself to check in, and she was finally agreed to do so voluntarily. As one source put it, she realizes she hit rock bottom. Well, better late than never.
She's hit about 35 bottoms over the years.
Hopefully
this is the one.
She has had issues with drugs, in particular Adderall and alcohol, for years. During her many trips to Mexico, she made it a point to replenish her Adderall supply. One source says part of the reason she's gone to rehab now is because of her pending DUI case. As one source says, she knows strategically this will look good in front of a judge, that she's taking it seriously. Well, if her motive is to make sure this looks good in front of a judge, then is that taking it seriously, or is that going, I better do this so I get a lighter sentence when I go in front of the judge.
What is the very best way for me to manipulate this entire situation?
TMZ, of course, broke the story on that whole DUI thing, and they're patting themselves on the back, as they should.
As expected.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is... Why did that... Huh. I had some stuff here. And the Super Mario Galaxy, right?
Yes. How'd that do?
The Super Mario Galaxy, these stories are just so convoluted because the headline says one thing, and then it goes back into the Britney Spears thing that I just talked about.
Well, repeat it.
All right.
As if none of us have heard it already.
Well, she was arrested for driving erratically on US 101 in Ventura County. The case has been turned over to the Ventura County Attorney's Office for a decision on the charges. Meanwhile, the Super Mario Galaxy continues to dominate the box office.
I heard that through TMZ.
Yeah.
The whole Britney thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
All right, anyway.
Anyway, continues to dominate the box office, grossing over $300 million domestically. Mario, who's just checked himself into rehab thinking that
it would look good before the judge.
Yes, it would look good before he had to go in and go, hey, I have a PTSD with all these little animals and the turtle shells and coming at me. I had to do something.
I was so high on the Adderall, I was throwing cannonballs from my car.
Yeah, were you also throwing banana peels out the back of you? Yes, but that was just to throw everybody off.
I was driving a little bit recklessly and the Rainbow Ridge.
Yeah. Additionally, the biopic Michael, starring Michael Jackson's nephew, premiered in Berlin to enthusiastic fans with controversial aspects of Jackson's life omitted from the film. That was also the time that Michael Jackson checked himself into rehab.
Hoping it would look good for the judge.
It would look good.
That's what TMZ had to say.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's bridesmaids are reportedly planning a surprise for her upcoming wedding to Travis Kelce. Now, Taylor, who has checked herself into rehab because she thinks it'll look good for her wedding.
And for the judge who'll be performing the wedding.
Close friends like Selena Gomez and Gigi Hadid may create a video filled with memories to honor the singer's achievements. The wedding is set to take place in New York this year, with speculation about the arrangements and preparations circulating online. The bridesmaids might also organize a karaoke session to celebrate Swift's career and superstardom. Do you want your entire wedding based around praise of yourself?
No.
It's the praise of you and your couple and the special moments you share, not the, oh my God, look how famous she is.
Listen, if I'm at a wedding and all of a sudden they break out the Taylor Swift film for me to watch while I'm trying to eat my chicken cordon bleu, I'm going to be very angry and probably take my gift elsewhere.
You think they have something better than a chicken cordon bleu?
I don't know, Steve. What are we going to get, like one of them big 6-foot Subway party subs?
I'm telling you, Cracker Barrel's on the way back. We could get some of them country fried steak and eggs. Who doesn't want that at a Taylor Swift Kelce wedding?
Delicious.
Kim Kardashian says she has cleared the space in her closet for that special someone, and now she's, fully involved in dating and everything like that.
Well, she must have something to say.
Oh, my God, the last time I made space for a man, Ray J parked his lava lamp in my fondue tunnel during that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with him other Chris Kim, but we once did host a very adult game night that got very competitive. We kicked things off with Settlers of the Kuchatan, where everyone trades wood for sheep. And by sheep, I mean regrets. Then we played Guess Poo, a horrifying twist on identity and digestion.
What else did you play?
You know what? I don't know, because I didn't send the rest of it to myself. Well, you know what? Then I checked myself into rehab just because I knew it would look good when they came back for the analyzation of the dirty things I did with your mother. Game nights Tuesdays, and that's your Hollywood Trash on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 74. Tonight, maybe a few clouds. Low of 56. Tomorrow, I can't believe this, partly cloudy and a high of 82. About 47 degrees right now in downtown Springfield.
This is Scott Cohen. Welcome to Big Monday. Red Sox, Celtics, and Bruins.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-step, 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, the Masters Championship is finally over at Augusta National, and for the 4th time in Masters history, you have back-to-back champions. Rory McIlroy winning his second consecutive green Masters jacket. That makes Rory the first golfer since Tiger Woods did it 24 years ago. Only the great Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo have won back-to-back jackets at the Masters. And yesterday, Rory McIlroy did it by finishing 12 under 276, one stroke ahead of Scotty Scheffler, who's also got 2 Masters championships of his own. But he's never done it in back-to-back seasons, and that's the reason why he's never done it, because nobody needs that many green jackets. Over the course of years, 10 players have won the Masters at least 2 times, 5 guys have won 3. Arnold Palmer won 4 of them during his long career. Tiger's got 5. Jack Nicholson's got the most with 6 green jackets from the Masters. That's 50 green jackets for 18 guys. What does this mean exactly? It means you have 18 with some of the best golfers in the world trying to figure out what the hell goes with a green jacket. I'll tell you what goes with the green jacket. Nothing goes with the green jacket. What are you going to do? Go out of the house looking like that? How do you even accessorize with a green jacket? Brown pants, yellow shirt, purple necktie? Get out of here. And yet, despite its inconvenient clashes and strict limitations in fashion, it's one of the most coveted prizes in sports. Well, that and the $4.5 million they give you if you win. Frankly, with that sort of money, I'd probably go out and buy a jacket that I might actually be willing to leave the house in. You think Tiger Woods wears his Masters jacket during group sessions at rehab? I don't think so. And he's got 5 of them to choose from. And I think there's a chance that this might be just part of the problem. That's why I'm grateful every day I don't have to wear something like that. Rock 102 t-shirts are bad enough. Let's hope that Rory does the right thing, grabs a fistful of mothballs, and puts those things in storage where they belong. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. So, I figured I could live to 100, but Rocky's has done it with absolutely no problem at all. Great hardware store. Rocky's in its 100th year. It's a lot of cordless drills and carriage bolts. 100 years. Rocky's Ace Hardware. Nailed it. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield Classic Rock at 6:15 and Hart with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 75. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 80, which is crazy. It's 46 right now in downtown Springfield. 80s the next couple of days.
I know, it's a beautiful day. Be a couple of nice days out.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood is what it is.
You know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Franconia opens up in 2 days. I know you're not willing to go out and buy yourself a shirt with a collar, but for some of us, the idea of getting out there and plunking some golf balls in the drink sounds like a lot of fun.
I think that is absolutely all you, man.
Hey, I'm sure I could grab a couple other people around here. We do a quick 9 holes. We have ourselves a damn fine time.
I don't even want to see these people while I'm here. I don't want to see them out on a golf course talking all of their talk.
Well, that's you, Steve. You're not to say like a sociable man about town the way I am. Where I love people and am beloved by them.
No, I don't mind people. I just don't mind these. Mind these people.
Steve,
that you have to listen to.
You can't always pick and choose which idiots you're working with.
I'm at BJ's yesterday. I'm shopping at BJ's yesterday up in Greenfield, right?
Yes.
And I run into this guy, and he's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and I'm like, I kind of recognize him from somewhere. He's like, yeah, we met like a week ago. I'm your new sales rep or whatever. He's the guy with the beard and the glasses and all that stuff. Yeah. And and I'm
I think John is his name.
John, there you go, John.
Yeah,
John.
right.
I'm like, oh, John, how are you? Good to see you again.
Well, you're out of context. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I said. I said it's like seeing a school teacher outside of normal business hours.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, these people have lives? I had no idea that this guy had a life.
I think if you see somebody shopping at a BJ's, it's safe to assume they have a life outside the BJ's.
Oh, I understand that people do. It's just the out of your element. You're out of your element. You're not the rep here.
Yeah,
today.
you're a real live human being.
You're just John searching for food for his family.
Probably not even wearing your dress clothes at that point.
No,
Probably
he was not. He was
everyday casuals.
Very relaxed. Very relaxed.
It happens. It happens, and it happens to me a lot. Where, see, I'm good at recognizing names.
Yeah.
I'm not always good at I'm good at recognizing faces.
Yeah,
I'm not always good at recognizing names, and sometimes I don't always put the face and the name and the appropriate place I've met you all in the same place. So if I look confused, then you know why.
Well, we meet so many people. That's the problem.
There's that, but I also don't want to overlook the fact that you and I are not that bright.
No, we're not that bright, but it's funny to people sometimes when you recognize them. When you recognize them and they are like, oh, he probably doesn't even recognize me because I met him. But I will remember somebody who thinks that I wouldn't remember them. But the people that think that I should remember them, I'm like, I'm sorry, who are you?
Yeah, I have stunned some people in the past who have been like Facebook friends.
Yeah.
And the algorithm, for whatever reason, keeps showing them up, repeatedly. So you kind of attach the name to the face, and then you see them out accidentally.
Yeah.
And they flip out when you identify them by name. Hey, Dave from Agawam, or hey, Bill from Longmeadow. They can't believe it. It's like how does this regionally notable fella know who I am and where I live?
It's a mystery, you know?
Isn't it?
It is.
How do you reconcile that in your head?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Anyway, you went to the BJ's.
I went to the BJ's yesterday. I did. That was another thing I did. But on Saturday night, my daughter and I went to East Hampton High School to watch Annie, the musical.
That's a great one.
Because my daughter's music teacher was playing in the pit in the symphony in the thing. I got to tell you, first of all, East Hampton is a very nice high school. That's a very nice area up there.
Would have been a little bit nicer maybe with a different superintendent of schools, but what are you going to do?
Well, you know what? Hindsight is 20/20. But what are you going to do? But it was a nice school. I like watching like local stuff, like local theater. I would rather go to one of these things where it costs you $10 to sit down and watch. You got talent developing there. These kids were great. It was a great show. It was very entertaining. And I said to my daughter afterwards, I'm like, do you see how fictional this is? Because no one would ever want a redheaded child.
I mean, unless that was like the last kid available in the orphanage.
Well, I guess so, but she wasn't the last kid available in the orphanage. She just happened to be there, and they're like, well, let's adopt her. Let's take her. Nobody would do that. They're soulless children. They suffer from gingivitis.
Especially when you think about the cartoon, because the eyes were like just circles, and they look like dead eyes.
Yes, dead eyes.
Which kind of feeds into that whole redheaded stereotype, which I don't really believe is true.
I don't know. I've met quite a few that could fall into that category. Maybe even a little narcissistic. A little narcissism to go along with that, too.
Maybe.
Yeah. But no, let me tell you, it was. Congrats to the kids over at East Hampton High. What a pretty good performance that was.
You think you had fun? Let me tell you what I did. We spent the day visiting my dad on his birthday on Saturday. Yeah. Came back. And then, we're about to get all ready for bed at 6:30 at night, because that's what we do. And then friend of ours, texted Jenny and said, hey, there's a guy here at the VFW in Hamden, Scooter, who says that Bax should stop on by.
Scooter.
To hang out at the VFW.
The guy that calls and tells us all about the turkey shoots every weekend.
That's the guy, right? So I had already taken my contacts out. Already in my pajamas, I'm ready to go to bed. Jenny writes back to our friend. She says, "Do they have Keno?" So at that point, I'm like, "Okay." In the bathroom, got my eyes in, got my clothes back on, and doggone it, we went to the VFW in Hamden.
How about that?
And Scooter was there.
Telling you, those places are the best.
Listen, I'm not new to the VFW. I've been there. It's been a while, but
And you know what? After being at that VFW, do you really want a membership to Great Horse?
you know what? That's the haves and have-nots.
You can get Great Whores in one place and Great Horse in another place.
I saw evidence of neither at the.
Really?
No.
There wasn't some bar floozy hanging around the VFW. No lot lizards hanging around there in the Hampton.
I did not see anybody that night, but I have seen them in the past.
I bet you there's some ladies with some stories over there.
Are you the fella from the radio? I'd let you spin my dials.
That's disgusting. But no, I mean, you go.
Yeah, we had a very nice time.
Oh, well, good for you.
Sure.
Did you win anything on Keno?
No. Big fat zero.
You gotta have. There's a method. There's a strategy.
All right, I don't want to hear this
What?
from you. I don't want to hear it because
Why?
I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
method.
sure.
There's a strategy to actually winning.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
there
just
is.
like that basketball bracket I got.
It's
filled out.
6:23 at Rock 102.
Score with Leah Toyota this month with limited time factory bonus cash plus additional Leah incentives. Leah Toyota is offering you additional incentives all month on over 1,600 new and pre-owned vehicles. Low lease payments, zero down lease options, low financing rates, and bonus cash. Plus, all remaining 2025 models are clearance priced. Stop into Leah Toyota in Wilbraham and ask for General Manager Riley Campbell and let him and his staff get you the vehicle you want at the price you need.
John Hazen here. Since 1925, Hazen Paper has been part of the fabric of Holyoke, through good times and uncertain ones. 100 years doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of people who show up, take pride in their work, and grow alongside a company that's always going to be here. Right now, we're looking for people who want exactly that: stability, opportunity, and a future worth building. If that sounds like you, maybe your story starts here. Join us at Hazen.com.
Gene Cassidy from the Eastern States Exposition is here. And Gene, most people think of the Big E in September, but there's a lot more going on out there year-round.
Oh, there really is, Steve. Eastern States Exposition is a not-for-profit built around bringing people together through agriculture, education, and industry. We're the only place in Western Mass, maybe the country, where you can have a headlining concert on one weekend and a livestock show on the next. There's nothing else like it.
And Hooplandia is coming up this summer, right?
Really exciting, June 19th through the 21st. We're building the biggest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the Northeast, hopefully the country. All ages, brand new Pro-Am divisions for everyone, cash prizes for adult divisions. Registration is now open at thehooplandia.com.
And then the Big E season is right around the corner.
The best season on earth, September 18th through October 4th. Ice Cube headlines at the Big E Arena stage on October 3rd. Tickets are on sale now. And Jet will be on a Court of Honor stage on September 28th. Trust me, Steve, there's a lot more announcements still yet to come.
Something for everyone all year long. Eastern States Exposition at easternstatesexposition.com.
Your big event is coming up. Do you have everything you need? Yep. All right, let's double check. Caterer? Yep. DJ? Yep. Chairs and tables? A tent for shade or in case it rains? Yep. Don't get caught like this poor guy. Rent everything you need for your upcoming party or event from TNT Tent and Table Rentals. Tents, tables, chairs, dance floors, luxury restroom rentals, no matter if your event is 50 people or 500 people.
This is Anthony.
And Jasmine from TNT Tent and Table Rentals in Agawam.
Find us at tntrentals.net and we'll bring the setup to you.
Still figuring out your next move? Say less. This spring, stop scrolling and start doing. Join Porter and Chester Institute for their open house. Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to noon at all locations. Explore hands-on training in healthcare and skilled trades. Meet the team and get a feel for the programs. No RSVP, no pressure. Just show up. Visit porterchester.edu. Porter and Chester Institute. Building futures one student at a time. Porter and Chester Open House, April 18th. All locations, 9 a.m. to noon.
It's 6:26 at Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam should have the full forecast for you.
Let me see here. Hey, everyone's got a home project they want to finish up. Rock 102 wants to help you with your project. $5,000 could be yours. Brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements. Use it for any number of projects around the house. You could use it with the help of Pioneer Concrete's coating, Chameleon Remodeling and Painting, 21st Century Pools and Spas, Contractors Electrical Plus, or Dave Miner. If you want to win $5,000, you go to rock102.com and you sign it before noon, April 24th. When one winner gets chosen at random, it's Pick Your Project from Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
You know, I could use $5,000 for a Pick Your Project. I'm walking around the yard yesterday, and I'm like, oh, man, there's $5,000 right there. There's $5,000 right there. It's more like $100,000 that I could use. So if anybody has that, be more than willing to take it off.
Oh, I'm sure someone would be more than happy to finance you.
Well, that was the joke. Or do you still want to laugh?
I suppose.
All right, let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
On Rock 102.
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
So a man goes to school to have a meeting with his son's teachers.
Yes.
He walks in the first classroom and says, "Hello, I'm Giotto's father. Please excuse me if I sound a bit strange. I burned my tongue yesterday."
He burned his tongue.
Yeah. And the teacher goes, "Okay. Look, we really need to talk to you. Your son is struggling. He doesn't know his times tables. He doesn't know the American states. He doesn't even know which state he's in right now. You really need to have a talk with him." "I'm sorry," says the father. "I'll speak to him tonight. But again, forgive my speech. I really scorched my tongue." Okay?
Okay.
He then moves on to the art teacher's office. "Hello, I'm Giotto's father. Please excuse my voice. I burned my tongue yesterday." And the art teacher beams and goes, "Oh, don't worry about that. I have to tell you, your son is a prodigy. He's incredible. Just yesterday, he drew a basket of fruit so realistic that all the other children gathered around trying to pick a piece of it to eat." And the father goes, I know. Yesterday, he drew a vagina on the stove."
It's going to burn your tongue.
Yeah, it is. It is. At least it's not a real burner, but, but hey,
Bax and Nagle.
6:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-in bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A recent study from the Greater Boston Food Bank and Mass General Brigham indicates that food insecurity is increasing across Massachusetts, particularly in the western part of the state. The Food Access report revealed that Hampden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties have the highest percentages of food insecurity in Massachusetts. Additionally, the cities of Springfield, Chicopee, and Holyoke are among the top most food insecure cities in the Commonwealth. The Food Bank of Western Mass, which serves Franklin, Hampshire, and Hampden counties, plays a central role in responding to those needs. The Food Bank service area is one of the most heavily affected regions in the state, emphasizing the scale of demand placed on emergency food systems. The Food Bank reports that pantry usage has tripled since 2019. To find a food program near you, you can visit foodbankma.org. The United Way is open. There's all these places. This article is giving you resources to find food, and it's going to get a lot worse. For a number of factors. We don't have to get into those, but it's going to get a lot worse, and the need for that goes all year long. It doesn't necessarily stop after Thanksgiving when we're done.
It doesn't? You mean people should still be donating year-round to food insecurity?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Go figure that.
So just keep that in mind. As even though it's nice weather outside, it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow, that doesn't mean people aren't hungry. So...
And in fact, food insecurity is a year-round problem. And even November, we're talking that in Hampshire County, the numbers are over 50%. That's increased.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they are now, because those statistics don't give you those kinds of specific details. But it was a crisis in November, and it's gotten worse.
And while we are, we're obviously cheerleaders for the open pantry, all of these food banks they work together. It's a network of food banks that work together. So even if you live in one of the hill towns, like I know we got the Hilltown Pantry up there, or you live out like in the Quabbin region there, there's community food banks out there. It doesn't really matter where you go to drop those donations off, but just keep in mind that people are going to be hungry, and it's going to get a lot worse. So, all right. On that happy note, River Road in Sunderland was shut down Saturday morning following a structure fire. The Sunderland Police Department stated at approximately 1:20 a.m.
I'm glad you really lightened it up.
Well, I wanted to go into the real meat and potatoes of the news.
I see. So in other words, there's a fluff piece right around the corner.
Yes. A first alarm this was at Sugarloaf Estates. A first alarm was struck and mutual aid was called in to assist, including crews from South Deerfield, Amherst, Whately, Hadley, Belchertown, and Northampton. The fire was contained to a center section of the apartment building. No injuries were reported, and the cause is still under investigation. The Springfield Police Department Ordnance Unit was out in the area of Wilbraham Road and Bristol Street on Thursday for a park and walk ordnance sweep. In a news release from the Springfield Police issued 58 ordnance tickets, 3 parking tickets, 1 abandoned vehicle sticker, and towed one unregistered vehicle. Members of the code enforcement issued 50 tickets. While in the area, officers directed 2 people experiencing homelessness and directed them towards services. Common ordinance violations include land maintenance, which is the responsibility of the homeowner.
Homeowners is what?
What? Oh,
I got you.
Motor vehicle parking restrictions and litter. For more information on city ordinances, review the latest Good Neighbor Handbook. Do you have a Good Neighbor Handbook?
I don't know if I was ever given a Good Neighbor Handbook.
Well,
I was when I was living in Springfield years and years ago, and it was hilarious.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. They wanted me to do things around the house and keep, grass by a certain level. I mean, who's kidding who?
This is all fine and dandy that they want to, make sure that you clean up the neighborhood and there's not overgrowth and all that stuff. But, these banks that own these abandoned properties that just sit there and nothing gets done for years and years, or you got these absentee landlords who don't seem to face any consequences for that. Here you are. Is it really necessary to start issuing tickets first, or is it more like, hey, look, your grass is overgrown here. Are you having some issues? What's going on here? Here's a warning. If we come back in 2 weeks and it's still there, we'll give you the ticket.
Now, years ago, and this is a true story, we lived next to some people that had some health issues, and they got tagged for the ordinance on mowed. The lawn was unmowed.
Right.
I mean, there's no way that the two of them could physically have done this, and it's not like they could have afforded someone to do it, and they really didn't have any kids that were in the area to do it, so we did it for them. But it took someone to complain about it, and I tend to mind my own business as a neighbor. I'm not really the nosy type. I'm not always Mrs. Kravitz looking out the window saying, what's going on at the Stevens house this week?
Right.
I'm not that person.
No, clearly you could care less about your neighbor with the overgrown grass until somebody made it a problem for you.
Right. But I hear I occasionally hear these anecdotal stories of people who are more worried about what's going on in their neighbor's house than their own. And you know what? Mind your damn business. But sometimes there's things going on that are not the fault of the owner. Sometimes they don't have the ability or the wherewithal or the health to maintain the property themselves. Mind your business.
It doesn't hurt to reach out, though, if there's something going on there. And you could help out.
If you wanted to help out, that would be the nice thing to do. But rather than call the city and say, hey, the poor folk that right now they're like so close to losing their house because they have medical problems they're trying to pay for. Could you please send a $100 bill or a $200 bill for a violation of ordinances? Because they're way out of whack. Their lawn is up to 4 inches long.
That's crazy. Get the weed whacker out. We're taking care of this property.
That's it.
There was breaking news out of Blandford over the weekend. A massive 3-alarm fire engulfing a tractor trailer at a service plaza just off the westbound side of the Mass Pike. Western Mass News was at the scene all afternoon. Well, who was minding the store? Who was minding the store?
The TV station.
Who takes care of the caretaker's daughter while the caretaker's busy taking care?
Oh, I like that. Never
It's
heard
old
that.
Bobby Darin.
Is that what that is?
Guy, I can't remember the other guy's name. Johnny Mercer. Johnny Mercer. Yeah.
Sure.
They were there all day, just glancing at what they saw seconds ago. This looked very scary.
So wait a minute. They spent all day just looking at what they saw rather than spending all day asking, or any part of the day asking, say, like a firefighter or someone in charge, what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think that watching a gas station go up in flames is probably the best place for you to observe? See, this is where the what we saw thing disregards safety completely. Yeah, we saw this gas station on fire, and we were standing like 100 feet away.
Then the next thing we saw was the inside of an ambulance taking me to a hospital because of burns.
Yeah, we had to wear glasses for the mushroom cloud that exploded as soon as the gas station pumps went up in flames.
The next thing I saw was skin grafts from the burns I received covering the story.
It was crazy. and then so now I'm theater of the mind, okay?
Yes.
Just picture this in your head because I'm going to read this the way they've printed it. You can see the diesel station itself is toast. Some of the station's canopy melted off.
I'm sorry. Is that like official firefighting jargon? Does BJ Calvi have like some charts to tell you when the building is toast?
All right, imagine yourself looking at some of this video. Imagine looking at a gas station up in flames.
Yes.
Imagine thinking, hey, that looks like a piece of toast. I think I see Jesus' face in it.
Yeah.
We can also tell you a towing company had been in the process of removing the tractor trailer from that diesel fueling station during the last couple of hours.
Can you imagine you're calling your insurance company and you demand to talk to the emu who's in charge and you say, listen, my house is toast?
I guess so.
First of all, I don't think the emo understands toast. Secondly, I don't know if that's actual
like sourdough or rye or
nothing
more of
like
a banana nut bread kind of guy.
Probably one of those all grain toasts.
Here you go. You ready?
Yes.
It was a ginormous fireball with
They did not say ginormous.
I'm not kidding you. It's written right here. It was a ginormous fireball with black smoke going into the sky. A normal day on the Mass Pike turned into chaos in an instant. This incident happened around 1 p.m. Friday afternoon at the Gulf Diesel Station on the westbound side of the Blandford Service Plaza, on the westbound side of the highway. Just in case you didn't know which side the westbound plaza is in fact on the westbound side of the highway. It took crews from several towns to get these flames under control. Firefighters were still putting water on hot spots. The fire has since been put out. You can see the cab of the tractor trailer is burnt out. In fact, it's unrecognizable. Firefighters coming from Blandford, Westfield, Beckett, Huntington, Chester, West Springfield, and other surrounding towns to get a handle on these flames. Even Massachusetts State Police were here as well.
And the official word is, this is a ginormous fire, and the vehicle is toast.
The Mass State Police were like Bob and Doug McKenzie, who just urinated on the flames to get it out.
Well, they had spent the entire day in the tanks at the Elsinore Brewery.
We can
trying to prove that there was a mouse in the beer.
They were a treehouse. That's what they were. They were a treehouse. We can tell you everyone who was inside the service plaza was able to evacuate before firefighters began arriving. The retail part of the rest area was not damaged at all.
Oh, that's a relief.
Thank God that Cologne station is safe.
I can finally get that hot dog on the roller.
However, much of the diesel station has been heavily damaged and lost as a result. We can also tell you the driver of the truck is okay and the trailer itself was empty. Western Mass News spoke with Blandford Fire Chief Adam Dolby. Knowing so much fuel was inside the truck and underneath all of the pumps, he says that it's amazing this incident didn't get any worse. He also said he's thankful for those who helped defuse the situation. Certainly grateful for both the response of the state police shutting down the rest area quickly and making sure we weren't adding additional hazards to the scene, as well as of all the surrounding towns that helped out. We'd be in a world of hurt without them. Traffic was not affected on either side of the highway. However, The service plaza on the westbound side has been closed for much of the afternoon. The anticipation is to have the service plaza reopen shortly. We know the diesel station is out of service, but the regular gas station and retail area will be open to vehicular traffic and people soon. No injuries are reported, which is very good news. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal's office in conjunction with the Blandford Fire Department. As soon as we have that information, we will certainly pass it along to you.
I look forward to it.
That was Matt Price who wrote that.
It was Matt Price.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said.
What have you been doing? Price, what have you been doing out there today?
I'm at a ginormous fire. It's toast.
It's really good toast, too. The kind with butter on it.
Although I like a good jam or a jelly.
Well, there you go. That's what they saw.
That's good.
Yeah, your
Glad
Pioneer Valley
saw.
forecast today is going to be, it's going to be cloudy today with a high of, 75. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, maybe a spot shower or two with a high of 80. It is 47 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
To Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:54. And Cream with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 75. It is Flavin in downtown Spring, 47.
This week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest is bass player Mike Watt. Maybe one of the busiest men in all of show business. Used to play with the Minutemen and Firehose, but he's also played with everybody from Eddie Vedder, from Pearl Jam to the Stooges to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Sonic Youth, and more. Could go on forever. And was given the Lifetime Achievement Award by Bass Player Magazine and has been touted for years. One of the great bass players ever. He's my guest this week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, the Rock 102 app. Also brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
That sounds like a good one.
It's a real... All I had to do is say, hey, Mike, how you doing? And pow, he shoots off like a cannon.
Shoots right off.
Great stuff. And he has said he would like to come back.
Oh, awesome. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so he'll be back.
Check that out. So this week, there is always a $20 dinner and a comedy show. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. It's over at the Shortstop.
Do tell.
I will not be there for that one, but Marty will. The show will still go on.
Where are you going?
I'll be at Illicit Brewing in Manchester this Thursday for a 7 p.m. show out there. So if you're in the Manchester, Connecticut area, you want to go see a show, tickets are $30 and includes your first beer.
Wow.
So if you, that's actually a deal because you figure a microbrew is probably going to be anywhere from $7 to $8 anyway. So it's basically like you're paying $20. You're just getting a liquid lunch with it instead of a liquid dinner.
And you're putting the man in Manchester.
Yeah. And I've never been here, but I've heard some great things about it, and I'm looking forward to performing there.
Very cool.
This Thursday. And if you get confused on who that person is on the poster, it's just a sloppy AI version of me.
Is that the one with you with hair?
No, this is not the one with me and hair, but I look like, God, what is that guy's name? It's another, it kind of looks like me a little bit, but then it also looks like some actor that I can't think of right off the top of my head.
Is this on your Facebook page?
No, this is on illicitbrewing.com, and then you click on events, and you'll see the AI slop photo that was put up.
Okay, Illicit Brewing.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is in Manchester, you say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take a look at events.
It actually is one of the better AI versions of me because I look handsome.
Still not getting
looking at events.
I'm looking at events, but ooh,
yeah, there you go.
That doesn't look anything like you.
It doesn't look anything like me, but it looks a lot better than the other versions. When we did the Nathan Bills thing, and that was the guy with hair and
well, I mean, I've seen you wear the shirt.
Yeah,
it's the same.
It's the same shirt. It's
similar beard, a little more gray in this guy's beard than yours.
A little more salt and peppery, if you will.
Yeah,
and then but the eyes are different.
You know, it's interesting. He looks nothing like you, but when it says tickets $30, that they didn't mess that one up at all.
No, see, that's the only accurate information on that poster, and the date and the time.
Well, that'll be a lot of laughs.
Well, actually, the time is wrong, too, because it says 7:30 p.m. on the poster, and it says 7 p.m. right underneath it on the link.
So what's it going to be?
You know what? It's a mystery. Get there at 6:45, and we'll split the difference.
It's 6:58 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Energy bill and have nearly...
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, you're not going to believe this, but the Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremonies are just 124 days away from today. And when I told you exactly who was getting into this year's enshrinement class nearly 4 days before the Hall of Fame got a chance to tell you, you might wonder, Baxie, who is getting into the Hall of Fame in just 124 days away from today? Well, as I stated weeks ago, Amari Stoudemire, Donna Donna, Shamik Holclaw, Candace Parker, the entire 1995 Women's Olympic team, and one-time Boston Celtics head coach Doc Rivers. Pretty exciting, huh? You bet. Of course, perhaps not as exciting as Doc Rivers having been fired as head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday after 3 largely unspectacular seasons. That's a long cry from when he won the championship in 2008, when he Coach Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett of the Celtics to beat the Lakers in 6. Boy, those were better times. Today, however, he's out of a job after leading the Bucks to a hapless season of mediocrity and discontent. That on top of the fact that Doc coached them out of the playoff contention for the first time in 10 years, leaving the team reeling as they try to figure out what next to do next. Thankfully, that smoldering dumpster fire of a franchise is no longer Doc's problem. The big problem is now, how's he going to be able to afford his trip to Springfield in 123 days? Sure, he's got a 17-hour drive ahead of him, a drive that I've made many, many times. But what's he going to do when he gets here? Hall of Fame, be first to tell you we don't have enough hotel space for the guy. I suppose Doc could sleep in his car at the Hall of Fame parking lot, but you know how full that things get. And what's he going to eat when he gets here? The Plan B Burger Bar? Place to Be? Pazzo? Samuels? I don't think so. So let me be the first to extend the invitation that if Doc Rivers needs a place to crash during enshrinement, he can hang out at my house for a very reasonable fee. Think about it. 2 Marquette guys, a lot to talk about. Sounds like a perfect setup for both of us. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. So you want to take your time and carefully choose paint colors? Maybe you need to see Larissa at the patient paint advisor at the Westfield Rockies. Larissa is an attention to detail type of person. She's an expert paint advisor. There's one like Larissa at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's
classic rock. It's 7:13 and Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Cloudy and 75 today. It's 47 right now in downtown Springfield.
There is so damn much sports to talk about. I hardly know where to begin. And in the studio with us right now, it's Scott Cohen. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see both of you guys. Happy Monday.
To get the important stuff done quickly, Rory McIlroy wins back-to-back Masters championships. He now has 2 jackets. He has to figure out what to do with them. God bless him for doing it.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, man, he's only the 4th guy to win back-to-back. And I mean, think about, golf royalty. Tiger was the last one, Sir Nick Faldo before him, and Jack Nicklaus. And out of all the guys that played, nobody's won back-to-back. So he obviously joins a super exclusive group, although, Baxie, he wanted to friggin' give the thing away yesterday.
I know. But, the thing about it, people think, well, how hard can it be to do back-to-back? It's been 24 years since Tiger did it.
Right.
This is something pretty spectacular. For even a guy who's starting to kind of fold up towards the end, or during the round, to the fact that he actually did it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, so many things go into winning, major championships, and the fact of the matter is, they only happen 4 times a year. We had the Masters in April, the PGA is going to be in May, the U.S. Open in June, and then the British Open or the Open Championship in July. And the fact of the matter is, it's like you have to be, not only do you have to be a great player, right? That's the bottom line. You have to be playing really good golf that particular week. And, there's the ebb and flow of these guys. 1 week they don't even make the cut, and then the next week they win a tournament. So it's just super, super hard just because of the way these things fall on the schedule. You have to be playing your best golf that particular week. And that's why there's only been 4. And the 4 names are, they're all Hall of Famers.
And on the other hand, Sergio Garcia.
Yeah,
Sergio
Garcia.
An entire golf head now.
Yeah. There's certain things that you do and don't do. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, Sergio Garcia could probably afford to get himself a new club. He's probably got a sponsorship deal. He's going to get it for free. If you and I did it out here in Franconia,
buddy, that's between that and the Yeti cooler, that's $1,000 mistake.
Am I right?
That's going to leave a mark.
Of course it is. That's going to run you a whole kind of a huge bill.
Exactly.
And you could very easily get kicked off the course.
All the little prize money that we might have won in that tournament is going to go right down the drain.
The Celtics are they're the number 2 seed. They're going to wait until to find out.
Philadelphia and Charlotte, I guess. Charlotte or Orlando, I can't remember. But the one game play-in, and then whoever wins that game is going to take on the Celtics, and that'll be a walk for them in the first round.
I don't think anybody has many second thoughts about what the Celtics are at least capable of doing, whether they get to the finals or not. It's definitely a team that's perfectly capable of getting there.
They are, and of course, they overachieved. Tatum, being out for the majority of the year. He wasn't supposed to come back. He did. They overachieved, before, during, and after all of that. And I think, I would like to see them play the Knicks in the second round. Return to the scene of the crime. There'd be a lot of written about that since the Knicks, knocked them off last year. But yeah, they seem like they've got a pretty good. Until they play Detroit, unless the Pistons get upset. They've been playing great all year.
Yeah, they have.
And then you go, the best teams in the NBA are out west anyway, so we'll see.
Real quick about the Bruins. They snap a 5-game losing streak. They win yesterday, and they squeeze by with is it the final wild card that they got?
Yes. No, they own the first wild card spot.
Okay.
So they're in pretty good shape that way. But yeah, totally, they've given us over the past 10 days, 2 weeks, no real indication that they're a team to watch in the postseason.
No, and in fact, I think when you've lost 5 in a row, that's
at this time of year when you're battling for playoff position and everything else. I mean, this last 2-3 weeks, everything's on the line, and they've just been laying egg after egg.
We were talking off the air about the whole Mike Vrabel situation.
Yep.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Mike Vrabel was spotted with this reporter from
Diana Rossini.
Yep,
from very well respected NFL reporter.
Writes for the New York Times.
Yep.
Writes for the Atlantic. She's a very respected writer.
She's a writer at the top of her profession, covering professional football.
Now, we've all seen situations where pictures are taken, and then both parties will say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, this isn't what it looks like."
You don't. It's not what it seems.
I was giving her $5 bill to order the next round of drinks. That was it. That's all I did. It's nothing.
Right.
Well, they took pictures of them at this atop a hotel bar in Sedona, California. Why this story is even remotely interesting? Not necessarily these two may be having some sort of affair. But this woman is now in danger of losing her job as a result of it.
Right.
Mike Vrabel's not going to feel any real pinch of this, but for whatever reason, Diana Rossini is looking at the very least a suspension, and then possibly losing her position for it. And to me, that absolutely makes no sense whatsoever.
On the surface, I agree with you. I think, listen, they're both public figures. Just take a step back. Who was taking those pictures? That looked like private investigator kind of telephoto lens thing.
Well, you could take those kinds of pictures with a cell phone too.
Yeah, but the timing of it just seems just a little bit off to me. But anyway, back to your point. Yeah, listen, she's nothing's going to happen to Mike Vrabel.
Nope.
Nothing. And like you say, she may end up losing her job over this. It's a terrible double standard. But Mike Vrabel is not a journalist. I've been doing this for going on 40 years, and the Red Sox, especially with Nesson, they've had some very high profile, very attractive women who have been their sideline reporters. I mean, everybody from Hazel May to Heidi, whatever her name was. I mean, just, very stunning women.
Sure.
They get scoops and things that male reporters don't have a chance of getting because of who they are and the way they look. Women, fortunately, I mean, on the one hand, it's a great asset to get you places that somebody like me couldn't get. But then on the other hand, if you step over the line, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And she's suffering terribly from this right now.
Scott, maybe some hair plugs, some rouge, a nice lipstick. You might be able to. You might be able to. What's
that aftershave you're wearing?
No, I think it's absolutely true that, and this is not the first time this has happened. When you think about like Jen Sturger, for example, with the Brett Favre situation.
Yep.
Her career was ruined because Brett Favre sent pictures of his unit to her. Somehow that's her fault, even though that was his action that led to her losing her job as the Jets sideline reporter. It's a total double standard because, Mike Vrabel isn't going to feel any, professional pressure on this.
No, he's not.
But Mike Vrabel is in a position of authority. He is in a position of power and of leadership. She's just a reporter reporting on things. She is still just as capable of reporting on football or any other sport as she always has been. The question I would think is, okay, if I'm the New York Times and maybe I say, maybe I reassign her to not cover the Patriots. That I can see. But to see her be suspended or lose her job over something like this, to me, I just don't get it. To me, that's nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of validity to what you're saying. However, when you are a journalist, when you are a reporter, there are certain lines that you're not supposed to cross. Her contemporaries who work for other big media sources are saying, "Oh, look, she's getting all these tips and all these stories. Why? Because not necessarily her, but let's just say a reporter is sleeping with their subject. That crosses ethical journalistic lines that you're just not supposed to do.
Now, these are the kinds of things that ended your journalistic career, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that correct?
I've been lucky to have been able to skip past a lot of
really.
This stuff.
I find not a single sex scandal with you.
Let me tell you a quick funny story. So. Jim Rice, who does the Nesson Studio stuff now, when I see Jim Rice as a member of the media, it friggin' cracks me up. I remember covering spring training back in, I think it was 1989. We were down in Winter Haven. And so the thing was, do you think you're going to be able to get an interview with Jim Rice this week? Because he was notorious for not talking to the media. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll get my interview with Jim Rice. Went up to him every day, tried to play nice. I said, hey, I'll catch you before I leave on Friday. So the Friday comes, and all of a sudden to turn the corner, and there's Jim Rice being interviewed by this very, very attractive female reporter. And I just stood there and I folded my arms and I looked him right in the eye from about maybe 10 yards away. And I'm saying to myself, and I gave him the look on my face, now don't, buddy, I got you right where I want you. Are you going to talk to her, but you're not going to talk to me? And so she left and I looked at him. I go, you ready? And he came over growling.
Yeah.
He gave me 5 questions and then he beat feet.
Hey, there are probably many guys that couldn't even get 2 questions.
Exactly, but the only reason that I got the interview with him is because I caught him red-handed, and he didn't want to look like a you know what.
Right.
So that stuff it's as old. The story is as old as time, and we'll see how this thing with Rossini and Vrabel plays out.
All right. Very good. We'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week.
All right, Scott Cohen. It's 7:25 on Rock 102.
Rock 102.
7:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Big Y, your family market. Is local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. On Saturday afternoon, crews responded to a large brush fire near Mount Orient.
Okay.
That is in Pelham, by the way.
Pelham.
Yeah.
I was going to say, where is Mount Orient?
Ancient Chinese secret. Mount Orient.
People all over the world trying to find. Do you know that you can actually see Mount Orient from space? Much like the
Really?
Great Wall of China.
Is that so?
Yes.
Mount Orient.
That's correct.
I
didn't say how far into space you had to go, but you could see it.
I just had a flashback of a very racist commercial. I don't remember what it was for, some like rice dish, and then all of the people eating the rice turned to these like Asian looking faces.
Yes, I've
do you
seen
remember that?
I do. Yeah. When you go,
who thought that was like at the time? Because it was only from like the 90s.
I don't know where things changed, but back in the day, blatant racist advertising was seen as, what? That makes sense.
Did I tell you about the Batman movie from the 1940s? Did I talk about that last week?
I don't think so.
I'm watching this TikTok video, this lady going, I just found this Batman movie from the 1940s, and I wonder why it's not so popular. And then all of it is like anti-Japanese. And they're saying all these like things that you would never say.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, and they're using like the stereotypes, and it was actually kind of amusing, because it's like amusing to the point where I can't believe somebody would actually say that. But that was the feeling of it. I wonder why that Batman, who was anti-Japanese,
I don't know. You're thinking in the 1940s. I mean,
it was right around World War II, where we had the Japanese internment camps and everything else.
Well, it's kind of like all those Looney Tune cartoons. Looney Tunes cartoons to this day still the funniest cartoons ever made. But in the 1940s, around World War II, like around Pearl Harbor, when the Nazis and all that other stuff, there were all kinds of wildly racist and hate-fueled jokes that were being made, not just against Japanese and Germans, but also against, African Americans.
Are you telling me that crows do not sound like poor black Southern people?
Not only that, but I'm pretty sure that Speedy Gonzales may have been somewhat of a cultural appropriation, maybe an offensive one to people of Latin and Hispanic heritage.
I don't know. He seemed like he was just, being speedy.
Yes, he was speedy. There is no question about it. But if you remember, there was also a character called Slowpoke Rodriguez on those cartoons that perhaps may have been wildly inappropriate.
Well, I mean, it's all subjective, Bax. I mean,
it's a product of its time, but nevertheless, those
are
culturally insensitive moments in animation.
To you, but I'm sure to some out there, they're like, wow, this is the greatest cartoon ever. I can't believe they put this together for me, the blatant racist who's sitting here in front of the television.
That Bugs Bunny really speaks to me. In so many ways.
He really does. Remember that episode where he wore that white gown with the hood on it?
Oh,
and, he looked like a ghost, but he wasn't really a ghost.
He wasn't a ghost at all,
more
really.
of an intimidating character.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway, Agawam business owners raise concerns over a road project they say could cost them customers. The family behind Pager Superette urged the public to speak up at a town meeting later this month. The Pager family said that this project is more than just concrete and curbs. They say losing about a third of their parking also means losing customers, and they're asking the town to reconsider before construction moves forward. A road project meant to fix one of Agawam's intersections, putting a longtime neighborhood business on edge. The Pager family, owners of Pager's Superette on Cooper Street, said the town's plans for new curbs, sidewalks, and crosswalk upgrades could take about a third of their parking. They're worried that could take away the quick in-and-out access their customers rely on. The young crowd that comes in and they want to run in and run out, they're not going to run around the block looking for parking spots, said Fred Pager. Pager said they've met with town leaders and engineers trying to minimize the impact so far, but they say the design still takes up too much space.
So
and of course they can do this.
Cooper Street and what?
Agawam.
No, not what town. What intersection are they looking at?
I don't know.
It's like about a high
Route
school.
75. No, it's Route 75 and Cooper Street, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, there's that is a pretty busy intersection. To be honest with you.
But Mayor Chris Johnson said the town's goal is improving safety and traffic flow at an intersection he said is outdated and close to failing. Right now, the intersection doesn't operate too efficiently because we lack this turn lane on northbound 75 on Suffield Street. Beyond that, all traffic signals in the intersection are around 70 to 80 years old, and they are on the brink of failure.
I've had conversations with Mayor Chris Johnson, not just in this term, but in previous terms as mayor of the great city of Agawam. He sounds nothing like that.
Well, I've never met him, so I don't know. The mayor also said, the town has a deadline. I need to commit casino mitigation money by July 1st to secure the $1 million in state funding.
That may all very well be true.
I'm insisting that the impacts are as small as possible.
I'm sure all those points are quite well thought up, but that is not how he speaks.
You know what? That's your opinion, Bax.
I've met the man, had conversations with him.
Well, I haven't, and this is my interpretation of what the man sounds like.
I mean, I can't say that, Chris Johnson and I are hanging out socially, but I will say that having heard him speak, knowing he has not ever sounded like that in the last 30-some-odd years.
Well, you know what? To each his own.
Fair enough.
I don't even know where this is. Let me just see. Mir Medical Center. Looking it up. It's in Israel. Okay. News out of Israel.
Okay.
We want to hear news out of Israel.
We sure do.
Let's see. Doctors at Mir Medical Center say 3 teens lost a testicle in 1 month after arriving too late for emergency surgery. One waited days despite ChatGPT urging urgent care.
That's a great place to get sound medical advice.
Physicians stress that delays sharply reduce chances of saving the organ. 3 teenage boys lost a testicle in the past month at the Mir Medical Center after arriving too late for treatment for testicular torsion, a medical emergency in which every hour is critical. In total, about 10 boys ages 12 to 18 were diagnosed with condition over the same period. According to doctors, the unusually high rate of complications is largely due to delayed arrival at the emergency room, a trend they say has been influenced in part by the ongoing war. Testicular torsion is an emergency where every hour counts. The earlier surgery, the higher the chance of saving a testicle, said Dr. Dana Levine, a urologist and an andrologist who heads the male fertility clinic at the medical center. According to medical literature, only about 7 to 10% of cases end in the removal of the testicle. Here, we are seeing a much higher rate, many due to late arrival. Well, stop listening to ChatGPT.
That would be my first thing.
ChatGPT. My testicle is swollen to the size of a softball. What should I do? Well, let me offer you. Did you get a frozen bag of peas and put it on your boys?
I mean, that makes sense, but maybe the thing you should do is, if your testicles are hurting you, is to go see a legitimate health care professional.
After the ultrasound, the doctor told us to wait for a urologist. Then we realized the situation had changed, and shortly after, we were told we would need to have the testicle removed, according to the parent of one boy. It was a shock. We never imagined something like this. For him, it was also a shock. The first thing he thought about was his military service. Because you can't get in the military if you don't have a good set of wiener boobs.
Is that true?
What?
That'll knock you out of the military?
I don't know what Israel is doing with their military, but...
I mean, here in the States, sometimes when recruiting is tough, they'll take someone without testicles.
Yeah.
Even one who's down one.
I had a joke.
I know. It is so insensitive.
I can't say it.
I know.
Her son began experiencing pain 3 days later. Basically, the gist of the story is stop using ChatGPT to take medical advice from. Go to an emergency room. Go to a doctor.
I mean, WebMD is bad enough. Now you're asking artificial intelligence to give you artificial medical advice.
Listen, I have AI photos of me that look like I'm a testicle.
And not even a full set.
A hairy one at that.
Right.
So please, don't take the advice from the ChatGPT.
Definitely not.
Go get yourself checked out. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today.
Your balls deserve better.
Your balls deserve way better than letting it go. Well, I mean, you should let it go before you go get it checked out.
I wouldn't let
anyway.
it go too long, that's for sure.
Cloudy with a high of 75 today. It's 49 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Yeah.
To Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:51 and Journey with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 75. It is 49 right now in downtown Springfield.
Real quick, Bacon and Brews is coming up this weekend on Sunday, April 19th from noon to 3, a bacon and craft beer bash that you're not going to want to miss. Your admission includes a full spread of bacon-inspired bites created by the Log Cabin Chefs, plus live music from Yellow 9. It's going to be a great, great time. And tickets are on sale right now at rock102.com. You got to be over 21 with a positive ID to enter. It's Bacon and Brews, brought to you by Curry Honda Chicopee, Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
There's some gems from the local community forums. This one out of the Westfield Community Forum over the weekend. Was anyone else's dog acting weird about an hour ago?
Is there a timestamp on there so we know exactly what time frame? Because my dog can act weird all day.
This would be like 4:50 in the afternoon.
No.
But that was the hour ago from the time I took the screenshot.
I see.
Over the weekend. And then somebody said, one of ours just took a dump and had the zoomies. Does that count? There's been moose roaming around Westfield, so maybe that's what it sensed or heard. Everybody's an expert on what, I'm guessing this guy is just doing this just to do
Just to cause problems, have some laughs.
Because I can't imagine anybody really going, is anybody else's dog acting weird, unless you've got some sort of, if only your dog is weird and you don't know if anybody else's dog was acting weird and you're going on a forum to ask, you might be somewhat of a troll.
Maybe.
And I just said, maybe your dog heard that there's a $20 dinner and a comedy show out at the Shortstop every Thursday night. He wants chicken cacciatore and rice, too. That's what he wants. And then out of Palmer this weekend, the Palmer page. I was talking to some young fella at the Ocean State job lot yesterday when he mentioned something about how the government is manufacturing birds that are robots to gather intel. Do any of you folks know anything about this behavior from the government? Please let me know. I need to remove my bird feeder from my yard if possible.
All right. If you're hearing these kinds of things at the Ocean State job lot, shouldn't that be enough to say, hey, maybe, just maybe, this isn't a great source of information?
Well, listen, where else are you going to get a good source of information? You clearly can't trust local news. What better place to get your information than from a discount shop that sells off-brand products and some name-brand stuff?
But at discounted prices.
Yeah, very deeply discounted prices.
Usually if I'm looking for like real practical information, Ocean State job lot, I wouldn't go. Big lots maybe, but Ocean State's not a chance.
Listen, this just proves my point that anything associated with the Ocean State is bat-shiznick crazy.
Yeah, except that location is not in the Ocean State.
No, but it's part of the ambiance of it.
Yeah, but they brought it up here, so it's probably like Massachusetts people working there.
Yeah, but it's a piece of the Ocean State right here.
And that's enough for you.
Yeah,
to ruin it.
That's enough for me to ruin it, yeah.
Fair enough.
When you get Dell's Lemonade. That's the toilet water from the from the Ocean State job lot bathroom.
Absolutely delicious.
We go around and collect all of the urine in those waterless urinals. You think they're waterless, but really we're using it to make Dell's lemonade.
Yeah, there's some fluid going in there. Yeah,
well, I
right.
told you that can I found on the side of that road in front of my house was a Dell's Shandy. It was from
Narragansett, makes sense.
Two awful businesses together making disgusting products.
It's two Rhode Island iconic businesses merging together to make a spectacular project for the summertime.
Yeah. Is it recycled Narragansett that they make the Dell's lemonade out of? Or am I still going with the waterless urinals from the Ocean State job lot stores?
Narragansett Bay is far more polluted.
Ah, well, there you go.
It's 7:56 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Quiet, please. And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, the Masters Championship is finally over at Augusta National, and just for the 4th time in Masters history, you got back-to-back champion Rory McIlroy winning his 2nd consecutive green Masters jacket. That makes Rory the first golfer since Tiger Woods did it 24 years ago. Only the great Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo have won back-to-back champions at the Masters. And yesterday, Rory McIlroy did it by finishing 12 under, 276, one stroke ahead of Scotty Scheffler, who's got 2 Masters championships of his own. But he's never done it back-to-back. And the reason he's never done it is because nobody needs that many green jackets. Over the course of the years, 10 players have won the Masters at least 2 times, and 5 guys have won 3. Arnold Palmer won 4 of them during his lengthy career. Tiger's got 5, and Jack Nicklaus has the most with 6 green jackets from the Masters. That's 50 jackets for 18 guys. What does this mean exactly? That means you got 18 of some of the best golfers in the world trying to figure out what the hell goes with a green jacket. I'll tell you what goes with a green jacket. Nothing. What are you going to do? Go out of the house with that thing? How do you accessorize or something like that? Brown pants, yellow shirt, purple necktie? Get out of here. And yet, despite its inconvenient clashes and strict fashion limitations, it's one of the most coveted prizes in all of sports. Well, that and the $4.5 million I gave you to win. Frankly, if I won that sort of money, I'd probably go out and buy a jacket that I actually want to leave the house in. You think Tiger Woods wears his Masters jacket during group sessions at rehab? I don't think so. And he's got 5 of them to choose from. And I think there's a chance that this might be part of the problem to begin with. This is why I'm grateful every day I don't have to wear something like that. Rock 102 t-shirts are bad enough. Let's hope that Rory does the right thing, grabs a fistful of mothballs, and puts that sucker into storage where it belongs to the other one. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, if you're lucky, you live 100 years. Or you do it the way Rocky's does. They've been around for over 100 years. A hardware store starting in the Springfield South End, and all of a sudden, 100 years later, they're still here. A lot of cordless drills and carriage bolts. 100 years in business. Rocky's Ace Hardware nailed it. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:11 and Blue Oyster Cult with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 75. It is 50 right now in downtown Springfield.
It is Autumn Mist Monday. Your chance of winning something nice from Autumn Mist Farms a little bit later on this hour.
Oh, yeah. You can't beat their meat.
You cannot beat their meat. You try, but you're not going to get anywhere with it.
You can't beat the street meat. That's another slogan for a different. I think that's the Pride Station up at the corner of Chicopee.
The people that you meet when you're trying to beat some meat at Autumn Mist Farms.
Meat, M-E-A-T.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
There was a story on 22 News over the weekend. Let me see if I can pull this up here because I was looking for it in my messenger. By the way, I was trying to figure out what time the show starts on Thursday at Illicit Brew. Because the website says, the poster says 7 p.m., the website says 7:30 p.m., and then I asked the guy who books him, and he goes, I don't know.
Is that at his show?
Listen, baby steps, okay? Baby steps back.
Maybe 7:35 just to make things a little even.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this. It was a story on 22 News. And it was about sitting in your car. Do you sit in your car
for just for the purpose of sitting in it?
Have you ever pulled into the driveway of your home or a parking lot and just stayed there?
Yes.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do that now.
There are some times you just don't really want to go in.
Have you ever pulled in the driveway and just stayed there? Maybe it's a few minutes or a half hour. You might be scrolling on your phone, belting out a favorite song, or just staring out into the distance. Scroll through TikTok and you'll find countless videos of people wondering aloud why they're doing the same thing, arriving at home, arriving at work, the gym, and then just sitting in their car. Some get there early on purpose. Others stay long after they've parked.
Sure.
The behavior is so common it's become its own kind of ritual, one people are increasingly recognizing and sharing online. Turns out, science has a few ideas for why people do this. Whether in a car, on a sidewalk, or just outside a door, the temporary pause can act as a buffer between one part of the day and the next. And while there isn't an extensive body of research to back it up, experts say this can be good for you if you keep a few things in mind. A lot of times, we're just going 100 miles an hour, said Jenny Tates, a clinical psychologist who runs her... What I said?
You said Tates?
I did say Tates.
Okay, good.
Who runs her own practice in Beverly Hills. But if we can literally stop, like slow down, take a step back, observe, proceed mindfully, maybe like a few minutes to reset between activities, it kind of gives you the ability to be intentional.
Okay.
Brief moments alone can help reset emotions when moving from one thing to another, like leaving work stress behind before coming home. Yeah, I always try to relieve work stress by doom scrolling on TikTok before I go in and greet my family hello.
Yeah, that's always a great way to let all the ambition, all the aggressions out.
By taking a little brief break, you can at least take a moment to relax and prepare before moving forward.
Is that how whoever you're talking about?
Psychologist Anthony Vaccaro at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I would imagine somebody at that college sounds like
Probably,
that.
Yes.
Vaccaro sits in his parked car for a few minutes after arriving home from work, turning up the speakers to listen to just one more song. People seek out these breaks to process, recalibrate, and shake off the gloom. And doing it in a car makes sense because it's an in-between space, according to psychologist Thoye Noye of the Durham University in England and founder of Solitude Lab.
What do you call him for short?
Bill. The car is an environment people can have total control over, from the temperature to the music. It is kind of like your own little sanctuary when you're sitting in there.
Usually, when I arrive home, and this goes back many, many years, and I must tell you, it doesn't happen anymore, but many times over a dozen years ago, I'd sit in the driveway, just kind of slowly dreading what was waiting for me inside.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'd rather not get into specifics, but there were times when I just needed that little buffer, that little breath before I entered to the house to answer a million questions.
Yeah, I've become pretty good at when I have a song on the radio that I really like, like going around the block one extra time just so the song ends perfectly as I pull into the driveway.
Do you speed up as it's ending in like the last 5 seconds or so?
No, I don't do that. I slow down.
See, I'm at the age now, and perhaps you'll get there, where I don't slow down as much or sit in the driveway in the car, because usually by the time I get home, I have to go to the bathroom so badly that it would be a mistake to stay in the car. So if the song doesn't end, or the podcast is still going, I'll just open the garage door and do like a 50-yard dash to get to where I need to go.
See, I open the garage door, pull the car in, close the garage door, keep the car running while I finish the music. And there's nothing dangerous about that at all.
Are you listening to short songs or longer songs?
Inagana Davida is one of my favorite tunes. When I start that, I'm like, first of all, I need some time alone.
Yeah.
But I also need to keep the car running.
I find that, like, Do You Feel Like We Do by Peter Frampton, all 14 minutes and 96 seconds of it, perfect.
Somebody said on the Route 10 Tire Listen line, you may find yourself sitting behind the wheel of a large automobile.
This is not my beautiful wife.
20 years ago, we would have called remaining in the car for 20 minutes to avoid people antisocial. Now it's part of life.
Well, that doesn't mean you're antisocial. Once you get out of the car, you can be social as can be. It's, this is your time.
Well, I mean,
it's like I used to like when my kids were in school, like grammar school, and I pick them up at school.
Yeah,
I was probably the only parent in that entire school that loved car line.
I do too.
Loved it.
Well, we don't have a line. We have more of a free for all.
Yeah, well, we had there was always a line, and I loved it. And if I was like the first one, fine. But if I was like 30, 40 in line, it doesn't bother me at all because that was my time. That was like time for me. Quiet, pensive, thoughtful, perfect.
I do that. I get there early. For the pickup. Sometimes they walk home. It depends on what day it is or whatever. But if it's a nice day out, they'll probably walk home. But for the most part, if I go pick them up, we got to go somewhere or whatever. I'll get there like maybe a half hour early and just sit there and wait and wait in the line. And I'll do work. I'll do things I need to get done.
My kids are all out of school, all out of college and everything. So that's so if I were to like show up at a car line now, I think that probably creep people out.
Yeah.
But I really like the car line. Nothing to do with the
kids to go there.
No, but it's quiet time, and I kind of like that. But if I were sitting there in the car waiting for the kids to get out so I could move the car without actually picking up any children, that seems to be on some level kind of a relaxing thing. But I don't think school systems are real crazy about that idea.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because the other night I told you I was watching Annie at the East Hampton High School.
Yeah.
I told you what a great performance it was and everything. We were there because my daughter's music teacher was in the pit playing music.
Okay.
So we were invited to come and watch.
Nice.
It was a nice little time. Take that out of context. Somebody saw me there the other day. It was like, hey, Steve Nagle, what are you doing here? And I have to explain why I was there. But wouldn't it be weird if I was like, I just like coming to watch other schools' kids perform.
I love children's theater.
Like that would be strange. Yes, I'm a big fan of children's theater.
Is your kid or grandkid playing in it? Nope. No. I just love it.
I got nobody here. We just came out of the blue.
I mean, I'm not crazy about adult theater, but unless it's in an adult theater, but this is children's theater, and no, there's nothing creepy about that at all.
Yeah, see, you have to have some sort of reason why you're there. Otherwise,
Otherwise, they'll ask you to leave.
They'll ask you, he's being a little sus.
Yeah, because, they all have to hire a police officer for people like you.
Well, last year I went to my friend's son's basketball game. They were like, in fifth grade or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were over in what's the middle school in Wilbraham there? I think it's Wilbraham Middle School, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
There's no name for it, right? It's just the middle school.
Right.
So I go over there, and we're watching the game, we're having a good time, and some guy says to me, he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I go, I just like coming to watch kids' games.
Let me ask you this, Steve. When was the last time you were fully Corey checked?
I don't know. Well, you know what? That's actually, you brought up. I'm glad you just kind of brought up one of the memories years ago when my kids were on the t-ball team. Right?
Yes.
They clearly had a lack of coaches. It wasn't a lack of volunteers. And one of the game, I think it was like the first game. They're like, "Can you just be the first base coach?" Well, it's not that hard. It's a t-ball game. It's not like you have to like really pay attention that well. So I was like, yeah, I'll do this. Well, then all of a sudden it just became, well, you can do it, because you're here.
You're here every week.
So then all of a sudden I became like a coach, and then we're taking the team picture. The kids are taking the team picture, and the other coach goes, hey, get in here. You're a coach too, right? So then we sit down, and then somebody goes, say cheese, and I go, say Mr. Nagle never passed a Corey check. Hey.
All of a sudden, all the smiles ended.
Yeah, but if I'm sitting out in the parking lot of a school, and my kids don't go there, don't worry, I'm just scrolling and releasing tension for the rest of the day.
Nothing inappropriate around here at all.
Nothing at all.
It's just about 8:23 in Rock 102.
GG Inks, screen printing and embroidery. They print the shirt on your back.
Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam, we'll have the full forecast for you.
This week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, wicked excited to have Mike Watt as my guest. Mike Watt was the bass player of the Minutemen, also Firehose, but he's also played with hundreds and hundreds of other people. Maybe one of the busiest bass players in America. Played with everybody from Eddie Vedder, the Stooges, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jane's Addiction, the Pixies, you name it. He's also voted one of the Enemy's top 40 bass players of all time. An amazing interview. He just shoots off like a cannon, and you can hear it on Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, Spotify, the YouTube channel, also on the Rock 102 app, all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Do you remember last week when
Nope, not at all.
When we were talking about that guy at a school committee meeting, and he said to the high school student who was a representative, "Wow, you're hot.
Yeah.
What school do you go to?" So I actually saw the video over the weekend, and it's even more creepy than describing it.
Really?
Yeah, because you actually get a picture of what this guy looks like. And he's one of these, like, the bald, I call it, if I grew my hair in, I call it level 3 ring on my hair. Because you look like you're part of a sex offender poster.
Right.
And he's got that hair ring, and he's got glasses, and he's got this big mustache, and you can see him. Obviously, they blurred out the victim in the case, and he puts his hands around her and says, "Oh, you're hot. What school do you go to?"
Oh, I didn't realize he was standing next to her.
He was sitting right next to her, and he was caught on camera, and he's caught on. Obviously the mics are still live before the meeting even begins. My God. And, there's this parent, the rest of the video shows this parent saying, how can all of you just sit here and not take disciplinary action against this guy? And, you should all be voted out because nobody was even, they were defending the guy.
There's absolutely no defense of it.
Right. And, it reminded me of this. There's a story out of Kingston about this. I said on Saturday night, Kingston police learned of a social media video of adult male having sexualized conversation with a social media streamer who was posing as a 15-year-old girl. Same type of talk kind of thing. And it's like, does anybody have any kind of wherewithal about them, about how to talk to people who
that's not even an appropriate conversation. That's not even an appropriate thing to say to someone who's
an adult.
To an adult,
yeah.
Never mind to a minor.
Yeah.
It's the same conversation we had a couple weeks ago, where there are we're doing a bunch of videos now for social media purposes, and then Natalie does hers. And there's all these creeps, coming out of the woodwork. Oh man, you're hot. It's like, dude, do you honestly expect, one, that's going to work, and then two, she wants to hear any of that stuff?
I'll let you wash my car, beautiful.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I love you.
I don't. If you're one of those guys, I just want you to consider this for a second. You're making all of us look bad. I mean, it's one thing to make yourself look bad. You're making all of us look bad. Including the ones that would never in a million years use that kind of creepy, sexualized nonsense talking to anybody at all. It's gross. Stop it. Act like an adult. Stop being a pervert, you pervert.
Yeah, I don't understand these guys who
I don't get it.
Go out of their way to make those, literally going out of your way. I mean, you're talking let's just say even the social media post. Not only this guy going out of his way, sitting next to somebody at a meeting, but even behind the keyboard warrior that you are, and saying things like that to somebody you don't even know.
It's funny though because it's not funny, but you're absolutely right. how few people would be willing to confront someone having just heard that. Like, people will, will ignore it. No one said anything to that guy.
A whole school board is defending this guy. I don't see anything inappropriate. But he shouldn't have said that, but...
Well, then it's because it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's why. I just don't, nobody wants to get involved when they see someone acting up like that. And they probably should.
All right.
Well,
in the meantime, sit in your car outside of a school and enjoy your scrolling on TikTok.
Well, that's different. I like my time.
Not an elementary school parking lot.
It's 8:31 on Rock 102. Here's your 8:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Here's a story on Mass Live from a couple days ago. Northampton serial arsonist Anthony Bay, who terrorized the city, has been released from prison. Every year for nearly 2 decades, they gather at the Blue Bonnet Diner in early May. The special prosecutor, state police investigators, police dispatchers, and others who responded to a certain night in 2009 meet at the eatery on King Street. They talk about Anthony Bay and the time he set the city ablaze and on edge. You remember all this?
I do, yeah.
Back in 2007, I believe this was. The city resident terrorized hundreds of neighbors in Ward 3 over 3 years by lighting a spate of fires, including one that killed 2 people on Fair Street. Bay was 25 when he went to prison. The diner is where a key police interview paused in the case, hence the annual meeting. We had a profile on him. This is what I got ridiculed for, said retired Mass State Police Sergeant Michael Mazza. It was going to be a young white male, probably bored. The 41-year-old Bay now was released from prison on April 9th. He is headed to a halfway house on Park Street in Boston and will remain on probation for 15 years. There's a possibility he may end up back in the Hawley Street home in Northampton, where he once lived, the very neighborhood he scarred. This case was so different because he was both a serial arsonist and a spree arsonist. That's rare, said prosecutor Brett Vitero. Bay stoked a series of fires in 2007 and again in 2009. They affected cars, homes, and small piles of leaves, for example. He just walked around with his thumb on a lighter. Some things caught fire and some didn't, said Vitero, who led the state's case against Bay. Unlike other fire starters, Bay never used an accelerant. A traffic stop in downtown, combination with poll cameras, in addition to false testimony from witnesses, sharpened investigators' scrutiny on Bay, a Northampton high school graduate who lived at 85 Hawley Street, a short walk to downtown. So, it's funny, you don't really see follow-ups like this after that many years. I mean, that was 16 years ago that
Jesus.
Finally took him into custody.
16 years. What was he sentenced to? Is he out early? I mean, 2 people died in those fires. I mean, I'm just wondering.
It became a manslaughter case, which is different than... They believe that he didn't intentionally mean to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So that turns into like a manslaughter type of deal. I don't know if he got... This is what I was trying to figure out from the article, if he got released. It sounds like he's out on probation, so he's got 15 years of probation to complete now.
Okay.
He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. So that was not quite 20 years. You're probably talking 15 years.
I'm sure there are plenty of people who are still living in those neighborhoods who are quite uneasy about this news.
Oh, I'm sure there are. And, it's again, though, like, it's very rare that we see an actual update of something that happened.
Unless his release causes controversy amongst a population. And I would believe that, considering what he did all those years ago, I would think that Northampton would be a little bit uneasy.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be. Let's talk about some good things.
Yes,
How about that?
Please.
Friday marked the opening day for a local favorite that has been a staple for families in Western Massachusetts for 3 decades. The Lupa Zoo officially kicked off its 2026 season, and this year is extra special as they celebrate their 30th anniversary. Here at opening day at Lupa Zoo, I may be at, this is pretending I'm David Germain or Mark Gardenia from Western Mass News, pretend I'm those people. Right?
Okay.
Here at opening day at Lupa Zoo, I may be outside of the primate exhibit, but I promise you, the employees here do not monkey around.
That's an animal joke.
As Lupa is now celebrating 30 years here in the town of Ludlow, making this community institution where people of all ages and backgrounds can come here and have a great time.
I'm looking forward to this season to see children and families come to learn about wildlife, appreciate animals, and just having a great time.
That's a sentiment shared by Lupa Zoo President Joan Lupa and families across the region alike who watch this 14-acre park grow from a small family dream to a local treasure. Remember that time one of them got out and then Sheriff Nick Cochee got a hold of him? Was that the same place? They escaped from the Lupa Zoo, I thought.
I believe it was. What was it? What was the animal?
I believe it was an antelope.
An antelope. Did the sheriff with his powerful hands grab the antelope by the horns and toss him to the paddy wagon?
No, his driver did.
Oh.
This year is 30 years. They started in 1996. Started as a small farm with miniatures, and it was so popular that people and the families and the children was coming in. People just came from all over. So, congratulations to Lupa Zoo for 30 years in business.
How exciting!
Well, I mean, that's it's one of those things that people go to every year.
I like going to the zoo. I like a zoo. I know some people are a little uncomfortable about zoos. I like zoos.
I got to get over here. I haven't been to a zoo. I think the last time I went, when I was in Syracuse, I took the kids when they were little to the Burnett Park Zoo, which is in the city of Syracuse.
Sure.
And it was like 900 degrees outside.
Right.
So like none of the animals were even doing anything. Like the gorilla was just picking his crotch and
that's fun.
and the lion just laying there like whatever.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, but you got to go on a day where the animals are active.
I went to this was a couple of years ago. I think I took the kids to Roger Williams Park Zoo in Providence, and I love the monkeys. I love watching primates live in their recreated habitat. And I got to tell you, the things that those monkeys do with things that they have pulled out of their bodies is absolutely a laugh riot. They're so much like humans.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like, when they're like throwing, like their droppings all over the place. Funny.
Well, the one, didn't you always say the one with the smoking the cigarette, right?
That's a different place. That was Southwick Wild Animal Farm in Mendon. I believe the monkey's name was Goliath, and
smoke.
People would toss their cigarettes, and he would smoke cigarettes and chew gum. And if you were smoking, he'd pull his hand out of the cage and kind of motion it over, like yeah, give me one of them cools, give me one of them unfiltered cools.
You ever smoke a Camel? Well, not the cigarette,
right? And he'd smoke, and it was just, and he. He's not just faking smoking. He was addicted. It was a real monkey on his back.
Well, that's how you. I don't know. How do you get a? Do you have to go through a smoking cessation program?
They didn't.
No.
I mean, the smoking cessation program for him is when he caught emphysema.
That's usually when it's bad. When you get COPD as a monkey.
He was probably, again, this is the 70s. Everybody was smoking in the 70s. This is before like non-smoking sections in restaurants. This was like everybody was smoking. So he's probably going through 3 or 4 packs a day.
I told you my favorite. I saw a guy in a bear suit down in Georgia.
Yeah,
holding a sign promoting a smoke shop. It was like this happy, fun bear.
Yeah.
And that's when I said to the kids, brown bear, what do you see? I see a bear cub with COPD. It's true, yeah.
Hey, yeah. Sure. Was the bear like pulling an oxygen tank behind him?
No, but you can see it in the Eric Carle Museum. It's called the Black Lung.
The very hungry lung tumor.
The very hungry lung tumor, yeah. Artemis 2's astronauts closed out humanity's first lunar voyage in more than half a century with a Pacific splashdown on Friday, blazing new records near the moon with grace and joy. It was a dramatic grand finale to a mission that revealed not only swaths of the lunar far side never seen before by human eyes, but a total solar eclipse and a parade of planets, most notably our own shimmering Earth against the endless black void of space.
So they saw an eclipse and came home.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess they're planning on landing on the moon again in 2028. I don't know if I believe any of this. They left on April 1st. Like, come on.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, you're kind of setting yourself
You couldn't
up.
have waited till the 2nd?
That's kind of an elaborate April Fool's joke, though, don't you think?
You know what,
it probably is real.
How do you know if what you're seeing is real?
I'm only going to guess on what I saw in the AAA literature about the moon and what I found at the travel agent.
AAA
has got all. They
do a triptych.
They do a triptych of the moon.
Yeah.
Sure, if you want to, where like all the hot spots are, where where to go for hotels and accommodations. Your top restaurants. I'm sure they've got something for the moon. They've listen, much worse places I've seen.
I mean, yeah, anybody can watch a rocket take off. But how do you really know that they went into space? Just because they have pictures doesn't really mean.
Well, I mean,
you can't prove that.
Well, Steve, I know what you're trying to do, and you're trying to punch holes in this thing and create some sort of weird conspiracy theory. Just because AI can fool you into believing just about anything.
That's what I'm getting at.
I get you. I understand, Steve. But I like to live a life that's a little less cynical than that.
But can you say with 100% absolute certainty that yes, those people went into space and yes, they did fly around the moon?
No, of course not.
And there you go. See, that's
But I'm not consumed with doubt. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, "Wow, how what an exciting waste of billions of dollars that must have been."
Now, it was a video I saw over the weekend about a guy commentating on this, and he actually had a pretty good point about somebody's getting paid off for these space programs when it was a jar of Nutella just floats right in front of the astronauts. Like, it was so nonchalantly, but you could clearly see that it was a jar of Nutella.
What product placement?
And then immediately, Nutella, the first intergalactic nut spread, or whatever it was.
Actually, I believe that's not true. I believe nuts have been spread there before.
Yeah, you think...
It's all the Russians.
I'm pretty sure Neil Armstrong destroyed a sock or two on the way to the moon.
With the other two guys in the capsule?
Well,
it's not enough elbow room.
What are you going to do? Yeah, the chimp did it when he went into orbit of the Earth.
That's a chimp. He was by himself. You got Collins. You got Aldrin behind you. There's no elbow room. The man's got to spread out.
Why? You don't remember... Listen, you ever shared a tent with somebody at summer camp? What's that noise going on? Never mind, I'm having an asthma attack. That's what...
that's
why, what Neil Armstrong said.
That's why Michael Collins never left... Never left the capsule. What's he doing in there? I don't know, but he's been doing it for 15 minutes.
He's just...
We're out here planting a flag on the moon. This guy is out...
Yeah.
Making craters.
Ooh, he's
filling craters.
He's sitting there going, yeah, slam that flag into the moon. Slam it. Ooh.
He had to splash down before he hit Earth.
Look how stiff and upright that flag is on the moon. Ooh.
We might have been the only people in history to ever make that point. That's what he was doing inside.
He was fapping off inside the spaceship
in zero gravity.
Yeah, that's one small spray for man.
Meanwhile, Buzz and Neil get back in the capsule. What are you doing in here?
Whoa!
Hey, come on now!
Whoa.
What are you, some sort of animal?
Wait, why are the stars floating around inside the cabin? What is that?
Here.
That was just space ice cream that I was making.
Before we leave, you're going to pick up and leave that stuff outside the door.
You know what? I'm really
leave your space junk out here.
I'm really proud of the fact that we have besmirched the astronauts so much, doubting that they even went to space this last time, but also insinuating that, what's his name again?
Michael Collins.
Michael Collins was feeding bologna to the Smurfs inside the capsule while Neil Armstrong did all the handwork.
Ooh, you make me very angry.
Ooh. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be cloudy with a high of 75. It's 50 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's another Rock 102.
Are you struggling to pay to...
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:55, and Foreigner and Jukebox Hero and Rock 102.
It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 75. It is 51 right now in downtown Springfield.
You know, Steve, it's not just any old Monday here at Rock 102. It is an autumn mist Monday.
Is it, Ron?
I believe was it the Bengals who sang that song? Autumn Mist Monday?
Just another autumn mist Monday?
Maybe it's Fun Day?
Wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Well, fun day is Monday here.
Always. Anyway, I have a $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farms. Farm to the table. You can't beat their meat. 10th caller right now, 293-1021, gets the $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farm. That is a heck of a deal. Good luck to you.
You can't beat their meat. That's exactly what they said in 1969 when they were on the moon. And Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were outside.
Doing all the work.
And then they're like, what's his name again?
Michael Collins.
See, nobody remembers the guy who was in the...
I remember that guy.
Yeah. So Michael Collins is in there, and they're like, hey, you can't beat your meat. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm just shooting tadpoles at the moon. Good times. Good
really
times.
is.
Oh, do you think some of that stuff was left up there?
Well, I mean, it's zero gravity. It's probably become space junk by this point. I don't know what the vacuum of space and a lack of atmosphere would do to something like that. I gotta believe it didn't get anybody in trouble and some sort of other. I mean, 1969 is a long time ago, as you can imagine.
Well, I mean, was Michael? What's his name again?
Michael Collins.
I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Michael Collins. Was he married at the time?
I don't know. But,
maybe he was missing his wife so much. Like,
yes.
You know what? You two guys go. I got to take care of some. I'll be the one to stay behind to take care of some things.
I'll be out there in a few.
Yeah, you gotta open the hatch. That means two things.
It's 8:58 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. This spring, Rock 102